Welcome to the Violets. This is episode 78.
This is not financial advice. This is cardboard. That didn't work as cool as I thought it would.
It was pretty inventive though, Nate. I was wondering what you were going with there.
Dude,
Yeah.
69 episodes in, still pushing the envelope of how to forcefully move a card from this side at the camera.
There you go. So Nate, how was your week in Flesh and Blood?
Week was great. I went to my armory. I played Jarl. And God, I forgot how much I missed fusing Oakenolds. It's just like, oh man, it just gives you the old jimmies, like you just feel like you're doing something that you shouldn't be able to do, and man, does it feel good.
Yeah, that card's dumb, man. It's just like
dumb or great. Anyway,
yeah, it depends. Depends on what side of the table you're sitting on, I suppose.
This is very fair. I went 3-0.
Oh wow.
So, dude, Jarl's great. Okay. Jarl kind of slaps right now.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I unfortunately did not get out to my armory this week. Had some stuff going on, but yeah, it's just been kind of sitting waiting for them spoilers. We're currently recording on the 12th, so we are hours away from spoilers starting.
We already got some.
Yeah, we did get some. Some pretty. We got our head jab, so that's good.
I gotta have your head jab, dude. This head jab has texts.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a card that says instant mark a hero, so that's very good.
Instant mark a hero?
Yeah, it's like Fruits of the Forest or
that's right.
Yeah, you can discard this card,
but it's only assassin, which is kind of like
yeah. We also found out in the primer article too that when you flip into Arachne, you have to wait a whole turn. It's not like it's like a waiting or something like that. Yeah, when you're you roll for your chaos agent, right? You have to it's a delayed effect, and then you flip and then you flip back. So that will be really interesting to see how that hero works. I'm curious to see how they manage the variance in that hero, because building a deck around 6 different abilities, I feel like that will be interesting to see how that works out.
I think it's less variance than you think. I didn't read the article because I can't read. So I was waiting for someone smarter to explain it to me. So I was just gonna honestly,
huh? I said that's not me.
Yeah, I was gonna wait for the Runaways or Arsenal Pass to do a podcast and actually explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Same.
But because each one basically has the effect of discard an assassin card, gain roughly +3. I think it'll be fine. I mean, there's 2 of the forms that are really quite good. And we see that there's extra ways to make the little token knifey boy. We just need more ways to mark people, which we're starting to see.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see what I think Fang is going to look like, and I'm just going to say I think Fang is going to be better than people think.
Yeah.
I think people are really discounting the fact that his daggers can be free 99. And if I've learned anything over the past several months, it's that free 99 is good 99.
Yeah. Kind of looking at the cards today, it reminded me a little bit of Kasai, templating, where you have to go through a meaningful action, creating those fealty tokens. I think you have to create 3 of them, right, to make his daggers free.
Yes.
So you have to work to get it, but then once your daggers are free, Kasai has to draw a card, which sounds easier, but actually it's, not typically as easy as that sounds. Especially, you have to either get a gold or you have to draw swords or whatever, right? Which cost a card, so you're not really gaining that. Well, so does gold, but yeah, I kind of saw that. I was like, oh yeah, that kind of feels like Kasai, where you have to work for it a bit. And like you said, like once you get the daggers free, or like her sabers free, it becomes very apparent that that is very good. I know in heavy hitters, I just started, I started almost like forcing Kasai. I was like KO for a long time, and then I was like, wait, Kasai cooks a little bit here, and like those free Centauri sabers towards like the end of the game was super strong,
Mhm.
and it will be really interesting to see. I can see him playing out the same way in drafts for sure for the hunted. So that has me excited.
Yeah, I think the difference between the two is the fact that like Kasai, sure, once you get your engine online, you can do it most turns, but Fang is a like once it's on, it's on. You don't have to do anything else. Once you get, it's almost like decomposing, where it's like, all right, now
Yeah,
once you've turned on Florian's ability, it's on. You don't have to do anything else.
right.
And Fang's going to be kind of the same way. So, like looking at the like 0 for 3, if this hits mark a hero, like
Mm,
that, what it's not only great to help start your engine of like marking them. Once you mark them, you get a fealty token. Um, but what once all your fealty tokens are there, it's just a 0 for 3 that leads into your dagger for free. So it's like
yeah,
here's my 0 for 4 that blocks 3 and has go again. Like I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there's a lot of decks that like 0 for 4s, and most of those 0 for 4s block for 2. But Warrior
yeah,
has this interesting thing where all of them block for 3,
yeah.
which
Or
could make it very, very good at cheese.
mm-hmm.
So very interesting to see how this plays out. And then if you add in cards like maybe Iron Song Pride, that card could just permanently attack for one more as long as they keep hitting
Yeah.
everything.
I,
I'm very, very excited to see Fang, oddly enough, and how that plays out. Because I know everyone's like, oh, look at Syndra. Oh, you get the flick knives. Cool. Do 1 damage over and over again, and then realize that you just spent 5 cards and you dealt a total of 10 damage.
yeah.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be a push and pull on his fealty tokens where like he'll have like powerful majestics or attack reactions that say to play this card, destroy a fealty token, right? So there's like some kind of like back and forth. So like you said, you can just keep them on and build your deck in a way where that's just you just want to do that, which might be the play, or you can like add in these really strong effects, right? So maybe once you get to the fourth fealty token, you can now expend one and keep the daggers free. That would be kind of a cool like push and pull on that character.
Yep.
Um, yeah. Yeah, you mentioned flick knives, man. I just did a market minute looking back at those again. The last time I looked at them, they were I looked at them at the end of November, which was like 3 weeks after Worlds. There was 35 total rainbow foils on TCG Player. Yesterday when I recorded the market minute, there was 13 rainbow foils,
A
and it
lot
went
more
from
expensive too.
yeah, it went from $60 to $100. Um, if they don't reprint a ninja arms for her in this set, and legendary, or like uh dude, the flick knives feels, I don't know. I haven't It feels like that we could be like Techo Foundry Heart situation where
Oh, where they'll just
they put the
reprint it just because it's
non-foil in
so
there.
critical to the kit.
Dude, it kind of feels like that, right? Like
Here's the thing about outsiders that I think people forget. And it's a very interesting, and I think outsiders probably should be open more, because a lot of those cards have gone up in value, but
yeah.
the level of legendary drop in that set is incredibly high.
Yeah,
I
the
can
rainbow foils were easy to get.
Oh, it was So they've kind of gone away from that formula since, but I believe, let me just look it up real quick what the drop rate was. But I think like just legendaries in general, it was like 3.7 cases, I think, to like get the full like playset of Outsiders legendaries.
Yeah, I remember back we talked about it, and like even when I was doing, you opened, obviously you opened a bunch, I opened a bunch on stream, and like the rainbow foils were just like flying, right? Like you could get two a case a lot, a couple, per case.
Yeah.
The cold foils were about on rate still, so that's why I've always kind of hyped up cold foils from that set. But Flick Knives is definitely in an interesting spot where there's just not a lot of them on the market right now, and it'll be something to watch for sure. Like I'm definitely watching it. Obviously, I've done 2 market minutes on it, so
Yeah.
uh, it will be, yeah,
Yeah, so the rainbow foils themselves, to get a full playset of Outsiders rainbow foil legendaries, it was 17 boxes,
yeah,
which is very low
yes,
compared to most sets. So like, because, and that's not even counting the cold foils, and then the the cold foil EAs. That set was, you were getting
yeah,
insane amounts of legendaries when you open those boxes. So the fact that there's two decent ones now in Vambrace and Flick Knives,
yeah.
really should help the value of that product, but also like, shoot, I literally have a box of Outsiders that I won at a PQ like a year ago. That's just sitting there, and I'm gonna open it now. It's just,
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, like up until probably like not, I would say not even in November when they announced the hunted, right? It was kind of this low, slow burn, but we've gotten to a point where Outsiders has become less of a lotto. And by what I mean is like Outsiders since like, I guess ever, especially, as the heroes kind of fell off, has been like a lottery. It's like, did you get a codex or not? Did you know what I mean? It was just like there was the hits were kind of few and far between. It was like pre-med codex and a cold full of legendaries that kind of were the juice. But now you're starting to see those, like Knives Out or a Concealed Blade, things like that,
yeah.
kind of grow in price. Um, so maybe Outsiders does get opened up by some stores or some box openers or whatnot. So
Yeah, like there's no reason to not go back and like revisit the product. I mean, you've got Codex, Fleck Knives, you got
mhm,
Vambrace, Pre-Med, Concealed Blade. Codex of Blood Rot is like pushing $15.
mhm,
You've got Amnesia, Stab Wound, Infiltrate, Knives Out, like Give and Take. These are all above $5. I'm pretty sure Dishonor is also above $5 now because you can actually play the card again.
oh, that's right, you can with the new card that's in the hunted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I did not. Man, I need to go dig through my Outsiders bulk now. Red spinning wheel kick. What do you think the price of that is right now, Teddy?
Red spinning wheel kick,
Red
rainbow
spinning wheel
foil,
kick, a rare from Outsiders.
the non-foil.
Yeah.
Oh, probably like 25-50 cents.
Bruh. The cheapest playset is 229.
Wow.
Yep.
What?
Yep. There's 9 copies, so there's 3 playsets until it hits $3.
Wow. That's
You're welcome. Everyone,
crazy.
go check your
A
Outsiders bulk.
rare,
Yeah,
a
go check
rare
your Outsiders bulk.
non-foil. That's
There's a
crazy.
rare that is now $3 in Outsiders.
Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, it will be really interesting how that plays out with the hunted.
Mhm.
Um, but to get on to our next topic, Nate, you have, speaking of the hunted, actually, this kind of ties in with it.
Yep.
Not directly, but the hunted will be the first set. that the armory kits will switch over to. I guess there is no armory kits; it'll just switch over to gym packs.
Yep.
These are the packs that, if you didn't know, or you're just getting the Flesh and Blood, these packs will be handed out at armories. Um, they are look, they are supposed to be for showing up. That's not a overall prize or anything. So if you go to an armory, you should get an armory pack. Supplies as supplies last. Obviously, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure they'll have enough for everyone. But um, yeah, so these armory packs have special promos in them and Marvels, cold foils, things like that. And Nate, you are going to start recording some shorts dealing with those gym packs.
Yes. So here's the deal, everybody. We're 15 minutes in, so no one's listening anymore. Brian is definitely already asleep.
Dude, I think that's an all-time record for the nobody's listening bit of the podcast.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
15 minutes is pretty low.
Yeah, let's be real.
To blast that the bit,
Yeah.
the
So
Byla's bit out.
Brian is either asleep and in Costa Rica at this point. But if you're still listening, either go in the Discord or comment down below. I am going to start an Armory Deck to Armory Champion challenge, and you guys are going to follow along with. I'm going to start with a base Armory deck, and I'm going to go to my armories with it every single week. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 2 packs I'm going to get a gem pack probably for participating until I become an Armory Champion. What I'm going to do is take 2 packs and then open them on camera and open my gem pack on camera. And then I'm going to trade them with my local card merchant for upgrades to this armory deck until I get the armory deck to a point where I can win my local armory. So we're going to do this. You guys get to pick the deck I start with. We'll see how it goes and go from there. We'll see what the feedback is, see how we can improve the formatting as we go throughout. But that's kind of the plan for right now. We'll see how this first one goes, and then hopefully I can win an armory before the next armory deck comes out. And then I'll probably just do it with the new armory deck when that releases in April.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Yeah, it's a super cool idea you had, Nate, and I think it really is going to have some fun and highlight what gym packs can do for this game. I know on our episode when they announced them, we hyped them up for a good 45 minutes. So we don't have to regurgitate that conversation. But I think we're safe to say we're both pretty hyped for them, and they are going to allow the thing, that armory deck to armory champion path more so than armory kits ever have, right? Like previously you had to kind of win the role for a mat, and then you could kind of, get some trade value if you found the right trade partner. I think the gym packs are going to make it a lot easier to trade your gym pack contents into upgrades for your deck for sure.
Yeah, because like right now, also like the later in the month it is, the harder it would be. But like right now, it's like I'm only gonna get a fruit of the forest this month, right?
Yeah,
because I ain't gonna win an armory with a base armory deck. So I'm gonna get like $5 in trade value from that, and then I'm gonna open 2 packs and maybe get hopefully another $5 in trade value, right?
Yeah.
So I might, like, depending on the deck, I might be able to get like 1 or 2 Majestics that would help the deck be better poised to be successful too. So I'll record that. We'll talk about it each week and like my thought process, what I'm going to try to line up for a trade. I own every card in the game, so I could technically trade with myself, but my buddy that I do box breaks with, he has expansive inventory, so I will be using him as my trade partner. He doesn't know this. I don't even think I've talked to him about this yet. Congratulations, Josh. Welcome to the challenge.
You're
So
taking
I'll look
Jim
forward
Pax
like
in on
going
trade.
each week, getting my upgrades from him if he shows
Yeah.
up, hopefully. And going from there, just documenting the journey to hopefully inspire others to kind of give other heroes a try, and also give like the Armory Deck Challenge a try.
Yeah, for sure. It's super cool, and I'm excited to see it. It's going to start up in February, right? Because that's when gym packs are dropping. So
Yeah,
we'll
we'll let people
we'll put
comment for
up
the
a
next like week or
yeah
two, and then we'll start it, yeah, with gem packs to like kind of like kick that off. And um really excited to see where we start. I am gonna be honestly, now that I'm not gonna be able to play any of the hunted heroes, but that's okay. That's okay. um
yeah that's true.
yeah, just pick a fun one for me, guys. Just
Commitment.
don't pick
Yeah,
something that like is garbage, okay?
yeah, yeah. I don't. There's no guarantees
There's
on
no
that.
garbage. That's fair.
All right. So yeah, look for that coming soon. But our main topic for the night, Nate, we probably 6 to 8 months ago did a Living Legends leaderboard kind of look in.
Yep.
Lots have happened since we've looked at this. I think we've
Yep.
hit on it once or twice before because it is important for like the market of this game,
Yep.
right? It changes things quite rapidly. Um, but the elephant in the room, it's a very known thing if you're in Fab, is that MST, aka Part the Mistveil,
AKA
is
LL the Mistveil.
is on its way to a complete self deletion.
Yep.
Uh, all of its here the all of its heroes are over 500 LL points, which you have to
Yep.
get to 1,000. So they're over 50% there. And there's a number of other heroes, but I think we're going to kind of maybe zone in a little bit on MST or Part the Misfail because that's kind of that will be interesting on the market side. And I think pre-show we had some interesting points to talk about there. But there's a number of other heroes that could LL2 in the next 6 months, next 6 to 8 months. We almost had the live. No, in 2024, no heroes LL'd, correct?
No.
Oh,
Dromai.
Dromai did.
Dromai did.
Yeah,
But she's not a
but
real hero anyway, so
but she was the only hero to LL in
correct.
2024,
Yeah.
which is probably not what they wanted to happen. To be fair,
Yes.
I think True Serum at LSS, they probably was wanting to see a couple of these other heroes go, but it just didn't happen. So now we are looking down the barrel of a six, like, well, maybe not six, 4 to 5 heroes LLing in a matter of 8 months, which will be exciting and kind of interesting to watch.
Yes.
And that includes at least 2 of the 3 Mistveil heroes, possibly the third if New goes on a run. So Zen is definitely gone. He's sitting at 788.
788.
870. Sorry.
Yeah.
So like
Peace out.
yeah, dude.
You
He's
ain't
like,
long for this world, friend.
yeah, that's like I would not be surprised if that's like week 1 Tuesday. Here's your honor roll, folks. See you later. Like,
Yeah.
and if it's not week 1, it's definitely week 2.
He's definitely gone by the end of RTN season. Like
Oh
he's
yeah, 100%. There's like no shot.
no. No shot
Um,
he sticks around.
Enigma currently sitting at 690, which sounds like she's got some distance, but we know how like she's powerful enough um,
The
to where she can close that gap quite quickly.
Well, there's 2 seasons before London, right? I think
Yes,
there's a
there's a
RTN and a PQ season.
yes, that's correct.
So like there's I think 1,500 points
A season. Yep.
up for grabs in just the RTN season, and there's another 15. So there's like 3,000 points up for grabs, which is a lot.
Yep.
Now the one thing I will say is like I don't think she's while Zen exists, I don't think she's in a very good spot at all.
Yeah.
But then also the new heroes look like they could be pretty problematic for her.
Yeah.
Specifically the draconic ones, maybe not Arachne as much, but um,
Hmm.
so like I could see a world where she still exists by the time London rolls around, but she's probably pretty close to she's got like 1 foot out the door at that
I'll
point.
never count an illusionist out, especially at the local level. She's eh, at the local level. I think she does a lot of the times. If you get somebody that's played her a lot into people that, and they get to play into people that haven't played against her a lot. Um,
Yes.
so that gives her like illusionists ask so many questions, and if you get them wrong, you just kind of fold. You like keep playing the game, but you died the minute you like blocked that mirror guy or something. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
always kind of like that.
It
Um,
it's a lot easier to get into a top 8 at a local level with a bad deck than and then just like, oh, look at my bracket. It's easy. It's like it's all the matchups that I would want cuz like you're going to have at a local level, you might have people who are playing pet decks more than they're playing the best decks. So like I definitely agree with that. Where like at a Battle Harden, you've got Brody and Michael and
yeah,
all the other top players who are going to be bringing probably some of the best decks and playing them at a high level, and you have no shot. Like
yeah. It's like at a battle hard and you have 100 people show up. The top 40 to 50 of those players, half the field, let's say,
yeah,
being generous, have either played Enigma at a high level or played against her enough to know the correct answers. Whereas like an RTN with like 30 people, you might have like, it might be you and like three other people. You know what I mean? And then like 27 dudes that are like, showing up with Florian, yo, this guy, and having like a real tough time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like using the hat at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Doing all
yeah,
kinds of stuff weird,
yeah.
right? Like definitely could see myself doing some folding. So, long story short, getting back to the topic here is so what that sounds like, Nate, is like, oh my God, if all three Mistveil heroes LL, then all my Mistveil cards are now like pennies.
3.99 if that.
And the interesting thing about Mistveil, and we've seen this happen before with Tales of Aria, it didn't happen as rapidly. Tales was kind of a long, drawn out thing, but it ended up just, all three heroes LL'd, and then it kind of just sat there collecting dust for a while. Um, the interesting thing about Mistveil is as we look through it, Nate, is that it's not as gloom and it's not as doom and gloom as it sounds. There's actually a lot of cards in part the Misfail that I think will still continue on and yeah, will continue on and be a contender or like a market staple, I guess I'll call it. I don't know how else to put it,
Yeah.
but there's value still in a lot of those cards.
Oh yeah. I mean, the one thing, the difference between that and Tails is Tails had no generic cards, and they had
Hmm.
pretty limited class specific cards. They had a lot of elemental, like Guardian stuff like that. Um, so the cards that you saw like do okay in Tails, even after like Tails LL'd itself, were like Seek and Destroy, Tear Asunder, End of List. Uh,
And that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but in part the Misfail, you've got Persuasive and Bonds and Justin Nick, which are all fantastic assassin cards that will
Yep.
always. I mean, you have blues that are just kind of doing things that red cards should do.
Yeah.
So those cards are just going to be the base of the assassin class. And then for some reason, just people think Justin Nick is like an insane card, but when you're not playing a 30 blue deck, it's probably not
Yeah.
as good as you think. Um,
Yeah.
so, but then we have Weakest Link. We have Prismatic Leyline, which is I think it's a very interesting card. And then we have Rowdy
Mhm.
Locals as like generics in that set, but no one's opened Mistveil for a very long time, and
Yeah,
no one is touching Mistveil as a like, let me take a look at that one. Maybe I'll open a box of that because the
yeah,
value hasn't been there, and that set is on its way out. So
yeah. The public perception. I mean, we don't know this, but like just looking at the prices of the cards and like looking at the inventories, Nate, I would agree with you that it doesn't seem like Mistveil. I would say it's probably like the quickest to not be opened because of that perception of, well, these heroes are super strong, and it's not a false perception.
yeah,
It's real. They are going to LL quickly. So there's a fear of like, why would I open this set? Why would I buy these cards um, when they're going to go down in price on me, right?
yeah,
But
they won't be
you
able to open
just
the deck anymore.
but you just mentioned Misveil was like a set that started the okay, instead of like making every assassin card mystic talent, we're also going to have a subset of just generic. Uh, that's a poor term because
Yeah,
it's not a generic, but
classless,
just an assassin card,
or
right?
yeah,
Um,
talentless. Yes.
yeah, talentless. Now Rosetta, we've talked about this before, improved upon that greatly, and I think the Hunted will too, but there's still value in some of those cards. The other thing that Tails didn't have, the expansion slot. Now, the expansion slot in Mistveil, actually, like looking through it, there's some good cards in there. As the boxes not are not opened, Elegant Eulogy, Vincent will get her day. Free cards are good. Like I do think I do think that her cards calling is very interesting. I don't think it's like I don't know. It's very interesting. It's not like the she's going to be a meta contender card yet, but I think they're actively trying to make her strong. Like that's pretty obvious. It's not Riptide getting his one blue card a set where you're like, okay, guys, like okay. So she's actually getting strong cards, right? So I think like Eulogy is a card that's currently sitting at $12. Okay, I'm surprised by that price. I thought it was
Eulogy?
6. I guess it's maybe 12 now.
No
Uh,
shot.
oh, never mind. Sorry, wrong filter. $7.
I was gonna say there's no shot.
Um, but so I mean, still $7, right? Um, but there is some cards in there, right, that are Murky Water. Obviously, just shout out Riptide. I think that's one of his stronger expansion slot cards. So it will be interesting, and I guess that's our like main discussion point, right? Is like as we see these heroes, there will be some cards in your collection that will go down in value for sure. Looking at you, Traverse. uh, and yeah, Traverse ain't never coming back either. Like Traverse is just going to get that Crown of Seeds ban, Nate, like randomly in a July of some year, 3 months before they announce Mistveil 2. They'll
Yeah.
just be like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're just going to ban Traverse from CC. Don't ask us why.
As soon as we see a traverse ban, that means you should start buying all of the good Mystic
All
cards.
the Mystic cards. Yeah.
100%.
Trigger.
Now, I don't think they will just. I don't know that they'll ban traverse, but they're definitely going
Yeah.
to design the decks
Yeah.
in a way that Chi is not as powerful.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is hard though because they have all those
I don't
marbles.
understand. I don't understand how they'll do that, Nate, because that seems very hard. But I'm not a card game developer, so Godspeed, Brian and the crew. Like I don't know how you're gonna do that, but Traverse ain't coming back, dude. It's either getting banned or completely designed out of the game.
It's either or they just put a better head slot in for all of the new Mystic heroes. Think about it. New doesn't run traverse
No, that's true. Yeah,
because like they either put like a chi activation in the headpiece for other heroes like new, or they design around it, or they just ban it. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting. I know they don't like banning cards, so yeah, I would just
How hard would it be to print something better than search your deck, find
add a blue to your hand. Also, blue does probably powerful thing in your deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard. But this is a set that it was the launch in Japan.
Mhm.
This set was incredibly hype upon release. Now, we
Yeah.
talk about it and it might sound like, oh man, this set is dog water. This
Yeah.
set is a banger.
Yeah.
This set was so fun when it first released. It was such a blast. Limited was insanely good. All three heroes were very playable.
Mhm.
I think this is a set people will go back to and draft a lot, but it still feels like a set where it's like it will get forgotten, and there's going to be things in the set that when people are like, oh, levels is $5, and then they announce the new mystic set and they're like, oh, levels is $25, $30.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
gonna do the channel like frigid, right? Like
Yes.
it's gonna
Exactly.
it'll sink, people will forget about it, but we won't. You
Yeah.
won't because you're listening to us right now. um but I would be moving some of the odder things in this set right now. I would just be getting rid of them. I've
Yeah.
listed all mine, just the move. But
Yeah, I think, I kind of hope that my hope, Nate, is that there's an armory deck coming. I mean, we're getting so much ninja stuff, and like, I feel like as a Runeblade guy, I just don't like ninjas. Is that like my mortal enemy? I think. I don't know. We just kick their ass all the time, though. So I don't. Maybe I don't know. I just don't like them. All right. Um, but ninjas, I feel like we've gotten a lot of ninjas, but like part of me wishes that something like the Ira Armory deck is a little tiger based. Just like, throw some tiger cards in there, then all of a sudden Ira might want to run chase the tail. Just something to like prop up some of these ninja cards that are tiger locked. Um that could really help the set out kind of age a little bit more gracefully than Tales of Aria.
uh, I think Tails had a. Let's not open that can of worms of why Tails didn't age as gracefully. Uh,
Well, I
that's
mean, as
a
soon
had a
as it
lot of
LL'd, it was
issues.
like in the dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a had a lot of issues, and I liked Rosetta Draft, but man, part the Mistveil Draft is just like I still think probably the best draft experience in Flesh and Blood, and I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
wish
it's
I got to
particularly
draft it
close,
more.
huh?
I didn't get to draft it that much. Like I never figured it out, to be honest. I like was just lost in that draft most of the time. And my locals kind of felt the same way, so we did not do a lot of drafting of that set.
It's you just draft blue cards. What do you mean you got lost? That's the best part about
Well,
that set is like you're just like, oh, what do I do? Just draft Mystic Blue card. Um, so I really liked that set.
yeah.
I have fond memories of it. Maybe it's because I top aided nationals on on that set. I don't know. Um, I
Hey man, I've been a big fan of it. I've come on. I've said this on stream. I've said this on this channel. Zen mechanically was a complete shock to me. Like I did not expect to like the chi as much as I did,
yeah,
and I loved doing it. Like yeah, shuffling your deck got a little old at times, but like the whole his whole mechanic was fun, and like figuring out the play lines really gave me chain vibes. So I really enjoyed it. I'm not surprised a lot of people enjoy it either, because chain was super fun, and he's the closest thing we've ever got to it. Obviously, Godspeed.
yeah. I
Have fun in LL, bro.
he's pretty good in LL too, as it turns out.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I would be very interested to see them try to because like it's gonna be hard for them to like. I don't think they thought Mistveil would, maybe they did. Mistveil would just like yeet itself that quickly.
I think James White said that he wants Heroes to LL in about 18 months.
That
We will be at about 10 months, like give or take, right? 9 to 10 months. Because
Mistveil released
this
end of
video came
May.
out in, was it May? It
Yeah,
was the end of May. Yeah, I was
end of
thinking
May.
Aprilish, but yeah, you're right, end of May. So they're Zen's a little quick.
That
Enigma and New will probably be right around a year.
I
So
think
again, quick.
Enigma could be around a year. I think New could sit around a little bit longer. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
really
like one
hard
of
to
those.
tell.
It goes one of two ways in my mind. Like they either do like an armory deck and let Mystic just chill for a while because Mystic was kind of pushed and people don't like the chi.
Yeah.
Or people love the chi.
Yeah.
But like that's the
Yeah.
thing. I think Mystic was a very well received talent, and I think people will want to see it back because it is very fun. It feels very flavorful, and I think that's what people love about Flesh and Blood is like
Yeah.
the tactile feel of the cards. It's why people loved Azalea, even though she was garbage for the longest
Yeah.
time,
Crazy. Yeah. She's
because like
terrible.
what it felt like to just be like, I'm gonna put the arrow in the arsenal and shoot it all out, and then like it just feels right. So
Yeah.
I would love to see like maybe beginning of next year we see a Return the Mistveil. Uh,
Hmm. Yeah, and that's like I guess that bring you just said it, and that brings me up to my last like kind of topic too. So Tales of Aria didn't have expansion slot. Mistveil does. That helps the set. Kind of yeah, it's not gonna languish as hard. And then the second thing is now we have armory decks. And I think really and I said it, right? Like maybe Ira's deck is like gives her armor that's tiger bait. You know what I mean? Like just some pieces that like kind of say, hey, you want some of these cards to upgrade your deck. And so I think they can really utilize that tool to kind of help this set out a bit and help players out as well. So maybe we see an armory deck that is mystic, like you said, just to kind of like tide you over because we can't go like straight back to Mistveil. like I'm sure they have a very nice, long planned out path, right? And I don't think we ever repeated like set location yet, like a set theme. I guess the hunted it will be the first one. Rosetta,
Rosetta went back to
the
Aria.
Tales, yeah, yeah. So I guess we're starting the repeats.
Dusk Till Dawn went back to Monarch.
Yeah, but Dust Till Dawn was just a supplement set. Is that what they call them? Yeah,
Supplemental, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we're starting like there's only so many regions in Wraith for
So
now.
far.
So like we're starting to circle back and touch on some of these. So like
But I
Smash
mean, it's
Palace is
taken
definitely going to
years
go
to
back to
get
heavy
that.
hitters or like go
Yeah.
back to the Savage Lands.
Savage Lands is not technically where Heavy Hitters was set, though.
It's like in the general vicinity,
I think Savage Lands set will be way different than Heavy Hitters.
dude. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think so too. But I guess I misspoke there. But also, um, yeah, it's just like I think like next year going back to Part the Mistveil might be a little too soon. Maybe end of 2026. Like you can't go that quick, right?
Dude, that would be like 2.5 years.
No, it won't. Well, yeah, I guess we're almost a year now. Wow, time flies, dude. I
Dude,
am
time flies when you're making chi
my
babies.
old my old you guys just got to see my old man brain get cooked live on TV. Like I just like lost I just lost all concept of time there for the last 5 minutes. I'm like, no, we've never been back. Yes, the last three sets.
Yeah, yeah, sure have.
Oh man. Okay. Let's wrap it up there. I think overall it will be exciting to see how Part the Misfile ages out.
For
I'm
sure.
just excited that it's objectively going to be better than Tails, because Tails was kind of a bummer. Monarch kind of took a big hit, but not nearly as bad as Tails. And Tails was kind of a bummer set until our boy Jarl came out, and Jarl and Rosetta, to a certain extent, kind of revitalized
Made Tails
that
great.
set. So Tails
Yeah.
is cool now, dude. So someday Part the Mistveil will be back, and it will be a great set again.
Yes, it sure will.
All right, Nate, that's gonna do it, man. Please like, subscribe, do the do. 45 minutes.
Everybody's asleep. So remember, always put your money where your mouth is. Pew, pew, pew.
Peace.
Peace.